Come on, Jack, don't let the beer get flat. Let me get you a fresh one with a good head on it, okay? Not thirsty tonight, huh?
Ah, Delia ruined my appetite all the way around. Really gets me. Maeve and Johnny have to give up their cruise. I mean, I feel like she took it, you know? Maybe I'm being unfair. Just because I can't take her doesn't mean she's all bad. Come on, Kevin, what do you think? What about the blindness routine? I mean, how much is she using it?
Well, it depends on who's around. She's rarely asked me to give her a hand, but with Maeve, she's like an infant. And with Paddy...
Oh, I know. She won't make a move unless Paddy's holding her hand.
Jack, she won't even breathe with that poor man. You know, it's like... Oh, there's herself. That was a great show tonight, Mary.
Thanks, Kevin. Sorry it took so long. How's Ryan?
Fine. Left her upstairs at Little John, surrounded by about 24 animals.
Oh, good.
Hey, it was a good show.
Oh?
Even I didn't know that old fire station was a landmark building.
Oh, even you, huh? Well, turns out nobody knew. We were flooded with calls.
No kidding.
7. Well, that's 4 more than we've had about anything else. So, how'd the hat go over? So, what'd Ma say? Jack, you didn't forget.
No, I presented the hat to Maeve, and she put it on. It looked terrific.
She didn't like it.
And she loved it.
Well, you certainly don't sound like she loved it. Well, tell me, for heaven's sake, I can exchange it.
Oh, no, she's crazy about the sun hat. But there's another problem with the trip in general. They're not going. I'm serious, I mean it, Mayor.
They have to go. They've paid for the tickets. Is one of them sick?
No, nothing like that. Ray Woodard called, and, well, the campaign, she needs your mother and father.
Cancel a trip to the Caribbean to campaign for Frank. He wouldn't hear of it. Besides, they can't forfeit all that money just
Tickets are gonna be used. Pat and Delia are going.
Oh, no. Not Delia.
Sit down. Now, hold on for a minute, huh? Now, your mother's had enough for one day.
Delia is not getting this trip.
They want Pat to go too, huh? Now, they've made up their mind, Mayor. There's not a damn thing any one of us can do. No, we'll both have a beer, okay, Kevin?
Not for me, Kevin. Ma upstairs?
Yeah, but I would...
I'm sorry I have to.
Supply.
Thank you.
I didn't want to be late, and Ray and I hadn't quite finished going over our agenda, so we did it on the way.
In spite of the wind.
Well, that is efficiency. May I offer you a drink?
Oh,
No,
no. I'm due at the club. About once a month, I have dinner with a dear old friend and her mother, who is 79 years old and more fun than just about anybody I know. You really must meet Madeline.
I'd like to. I really would. The one thing Ray hasn't gone over is the plan for the child health panel. So I thought she could do it, well, she could fill us in together.
Oh, well, that's just an introductory plan meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Please, sit down.
Thank you. Yes, it's a small group meeting at my apartment tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And I'm so glad you've agreed to take part.
Oh, thank you. I've always been interested in child health plans, legislation, and I think I can make a contribution.
I know you can. And I know that what you mean by plan is who else is going to be there, right?
Basically. Did Dr. Frankel agree?
Yes, she did, and your mother.
Maeve?
And Yeah, I felt we needed some parent input. Maeve is a mother of 5, grandmother of 4.
5, grandmother of 5. But she won't be at the first meeting. She and my father are, well, they're taking a vacation tomorrow.
Well, apparently they've changed their plans.
Oh? Oh, well, I guess I better look into that.
There is one slightly sticky situation that I feel we should discuss. It concerns a certain Boland Award-winning doctor who has agreed to serve on the panel.
Seneca?
Yes.
Ray, that's a mistake.
Now, wait. Let me tell you why I don't think it is. The man is a nationally known scientist. The two of you may dislike each other, but all the voters are going to see is that Seneca is a part of the Ryan Brain Trust. You need people like him, Frank. It adds weight, stature. The thing which has been concerning me is the possibility that you might find it hard to deal with.
Oh, please don't be concerned on my part.
Well, it's just that you did tell me that you and Dr. Bolak are not the good friends that you used to be, and I was afraid that might be upsetting seeing him at panel meetings.
Well, does Seneca know that I'm going to be on this board?
Yes. Yes, he does, and he has indicated that he will be approaching it from a strictly professional point of view.
Well, then certainly I'll do the same.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Well, wonderful. I'll get information to you on all the other panel members. A messenger will drop it by at your office tomorrow morning. And he will bring you a copy, and Georgia will give him...
The minutes from last week's meeting.
And a summary.
Of every minute that I've been on the council.
And how about a skinful?
Georgia will call Alicia about it.
Wonderful. Well, I guess that just kind of clears up about everything, with 1 or 2 exceptions, which, well, I find them very difficult to go into, but here goes. Frank has told me that you and he are renewing acquaintance, shall we say? And I'm sure he's told you that I want his nose to the grindstone for the next few months.
Certainly seems appropriate.
Well, maybe this won't be all that difficult. To be blunt with you, I'd just like to think that you and I won't be pulling Frank in opposite directions, that's all.
Well, I have no intention of pulling Frank anywhere.
Very well said. You know, I think if we can keep things as open and honest as this, we may not have any problems at all. Which, unfortunately, brings me to my last, delicate point.
Which, no doubt, is my son.
Yes.
Well, Edmund will not be an issue in this campaign.
I'm afraid we'll all have to be terribly, terribly careful.
Ray, Jill's aware of that.
I think you should warn the immediate family on both sides that the child and Frank must not be mentioned in the same breath. Certainly not in public. Furthermore, all those who have assumed that Dr. Bolak is the father should be encouraged to continue assuming that. That myth is all to the good.
Listen, speaking of Edmund, would you excuse me for a second?
Oh, of course. As a matter of fact, I have to run myself. Good night.
Well, good evening.
You know, she really is such a lovely person.
You are too.
Thank you. Good night, love.
Good night.
I certainly don't know what to make of that, but I hope you can tell me.
Ma?
Mary, come quick. I want you to see what's going on in Little John's room.
In a minute.
No, darling, they may stop. Little John is teaching Ryan how to play ball. The two of them are sitting in the middle of the room. It's the cutest thing. Come on.
Look, I want to talk to you about the trip.
Oh, Jack told you, eh?
Well, he told me some story about you and Da staying home, but it was too ridiculous to believe.
Well, I'm afraid it's true. There will be other trips, though.
There'll be this trip for you and Da, and not for Delia.
Now, just hush, Mary. The girl is inside.
Fine, let her come out. I'll say it to her face.
Do no such thing, young lady. She is not the reason that we're staying home.
Don't tell me Frank's the reason. Oh, you wanted this trip too much to give it up for campaign work.
Oh, is there anything I can tell you at all?
Please do.
All right. Ray Woodard has asked me to serve on a panel. It's to do with child health care. It's an advisory group for Francis. There's going to be all kinds of experts, doctors and whatever, and I'm to be the mother expert, I suppose. Well, anyway, that's very important.
It's not that important. Sorry, go on.
Well, your father and I have been having mixed feelings about staying away. Anyway, and this panel idea sort of just, well, tipped the scales. It's just not our time to go.
But it's Delia's time? Huh?
Yes, I believe it is. Dear, we've had it on very good medical authority. The girl needs to relax before she's going to get her eyesight back. This trip just may do the trick.
Delia will see when she needs to see, and not 1 minute sooner.
Well, then, can you think what the rest might do for your brother? The boy needs some time away from here. I mean, he had one night for his honeymoon. Before then, the last vacation he had was sometime before medical school.
Ma, Pat's in better shape now than he's been all winter. His schedule is lighter and he's stronger physically. Well, haven't you noticed how much more together he is?
Oh, yes, indeed, I did notice, and I know why. He was taking pills.
When did you find out?
Recently. Don't tell me you've known all along.
No. Only after he'd stopped. Ma, I wanted you to know. But I just didn't think it was my place to tell you.
Well, we've been told. Unfortunately, not by Patrick, but we've been told.
Not by Pat.
No.
Delia?
Mary, I don't want to get into
Was it Delia? Yes or no?
They had a row in here the other night. Pat stormed out. The girl was so upset the story just came out.
She is a monster.
Oh, Mary, for heaven's sake. The girl is suffering from blindness. Do you have no compassion at all?
She set you up.
Ugh.
That little witch wanted your vacation, and she used the one weapon that she knew would make you give it back.
All right, Miss Know-It-All. Let's just for argument's sake, they say that's true. Needless to say, it does not change the fact that your brother is under tremendous pressure, and that we have a way of helping him, relieving his pressure. Now, he won't accept help from us directly, so this way we can help him a little indirectly. I don't think that we shouldn't take him up on that. He was on drugs. Let's pray to God that he goes and stays off them.
Ma, he does not have to go to the Caribbean to stay away from pills. He's managing fine. You don't need to do this.
Well, it is done.
Maeve,
Yes.
Mary is wrong. She is wrong.
Take that hat off.
Hat. Oh, I forgot I was wearing the hat.
It's quite all right. I told her that I would lend it to her.
Ma, Jack and I bought that hat for you.
Well, then I guess it's mine to lend now, isn't it?
Okay, Mary. You want the hat here? I don't know where you are, but here, have your hat.
come off it, Delia. My heart may break.
I don't know why she hates me. Ever since we were little, she has hated me, and there's just no reason to.
Darling, let us not dredge up old troubles, huh? You went too far, Mary.
I'm sorry, Dee. My temper got the better of me. It was the hat.
No, it wasn't the hat. You're furious at me when I need something. And you don't like the fact that I'm blind and I'm staying in this house. I didn't steal that vacation from Maeve and Johnny. They offered it to us.
Dear, we explained that.
Why did they offer it, Dee?
Because they care about Patty and they care about me.
Right. And when does Pat find out you told about the drug business, As the ship glides away from the dock?
Mary, that really isn't fair. Why are you trying to ruin my trip? I'm not going to let you.
Simple as that. She was trying to make friends. Simple as that.
Ray doesn't need me as a friend.
She does if she's going to work with me. I've told her that, and she's making an effort. I admit she put her foot into it a couple of times.
Yeah, you can say that again.
The comments about Edna.
Yes, for one thing. He is not the child. He's my son.
He's our son.
Oh, shh. Not in public.
Look, I admit she gets a little heavy-handed at times, Jill, but don't take it so seriously.
Well, I feel like she has my whole life filed away in 3x5 cards, including a complete catalog of my most intimate thoughts. But I'll tell you one thing, I am not going to discuss private, personal things with her. Not Edmund and not us.
A campaign manager is bound to touch on some of these things once in a while. It happened in the city council race with Bob.
Oh, yeah, Bob likes me.
And you like him.
Right.
But you don't like Ray. Right? Now, isn't that what it amounts to? And no matter what she does, she'll turn you off, right?
Frank, let me tell you something. I have seen that woman in action at the hospital before her husband died, and what I saw was pretty tough. Now, sure, she has great political sense, great business sense. But she and I are never going to be friends. And my instinctive feeling is to stay clear of her altogether. Which brings me to the point that maybe I should back away from this medical advisory panel and any aspects of this campaign.
How do you really feel about Seneca being on the panel?
Well, being in the same room with Seneca is hardly going to make me go to pieces.
Well, I wish I could say the same thing. Look, Jill, I'm sorry that Ray invited him. But I thought that, well, I thought I'd sleep on it rather than debate it tonight.
I don't know.
Give the meeting a try. If you don't like it, leave.
All right.
Thank you.
What time is your bar association meeting?
I ought to leave in about half an hour.
Would you like to see Edmund?
Yeah. Is he awake?
I don't know.
Well, you just went in to check on him.
I went in there to get away from Ray.
Come on.
Drill.
Now, Mary's not trying to ruin anything, dear. She's just disappointed for you. Her father and me.
No, she said that I tricked you into staying home. Now, I heard her say that.
The problem with eavesdropping, Dee, is that you tend to miss a word here and there. What I actually
I was not eavesdropping. Now, you were yelling. I was in my room and I was packing. You know, it sounded like you were standing right next to me. Mary, you know, ever since I've been blind, I've been very sensitive to sound.
Well, that's rather amazing, Dee. Almost bionic, you might say.
Now, don't start again.
I didn't realize I was forcing you to overhear me. I wish you hadn't, but, for the record, I never said you tricked Ma and Da. That was your word.
I don't know what words you use, but you think I'm a horrible and a selfish person. Now, all I'm trying to do, Mary, is help Patty. Now, do you know what he's feeling? Does he come home to you? Do you live with him? No, I do. I'm the one who's next to him when he's lying awake at night. I'm the one he tells his worries to. Me, not you.
All right. How worried is he?
I'm not going to tell you my husband's secrets. I'm not going to tell anybody
Oh,
that.
the hell you don't.
Maeve.
All right, that's enough from both of you. Please. We want Pat and Dee to take this cruise and enjoy it thoroughly. Period.
Bon voyage.
Thank you, Mary. I know you don't mean it, but thank you. Thank you very much.
Mary, maybe we better go in and look at the children.
Well, if Brian needs help, she'll give a yell.
Oh, sure, she can take care of herself. I remember when you went to Ireland, she didn't feel like she was abandoned at all. No, she doesn't need anybody, just like her mother.
Go pack, Delia.
Yes, there's not much time, dear.
Mary, when you went to Ireland, I didn't say anything mean. I didn't say a word.
You maybe said 2 million words, but I didn't overhear them.
See, Dee, sometimes you get to be a little like background noise, like static. And when that happens, I just tune you out.
I remember in school when the nun said, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Mary, you never learned your lesson.
Well, I was never into flies.
Come along, dear.
No,
Come along.
it's okay. I can manage. I can take care of myself.
All right, dear. There. Oh, are you all right? Are you all right?
It's my shoulder. I'm okay.
All right.
Could you just get me through the door?
Surely, dear. There. There.
Thank you.
Now, Mary, that girl has got to get her eyesight back. I do not want a lifetime of that for Patrick.
No.
Mary, I'll wear the sun hat on the beach this summer. And then next year, I promise, I'll take it with me to the Caribbean.
Oh, Ma.
Trust us, darling. Your father and I know what we're doing.
I just have a feeling you're sentencing Pat to 5 days in hell with that woman. I'm not so sure that's a favor.
Brad Pitt, Cher, Liam Neeson, Sarah Jessica Parker, Nicolas Cage. SoapNet has the biggest names in the movies you want to watch. The Sunday Night Movies, Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on SoapNet.